Hello friends, welcome to ZimSeek Robotics Lab with the Zim Science General. In this video, we are going to discuss sensors and actuators. Objectives in this video are to identify sensors, explain the function of sensors, describe the functions of actuators. What are robotic sensors? A robot sensor is a device that detects changes in the robot's condition and environment. Like human sense organs, robotic sensors allow robots to understand and interact with their surroundings while performing their tasks. Without robotic sensors, robots are blind and unable to understand the environment. How do sensors work? Hey, they detect a change in the physical property, e.g. light, sound, and sound. They convert this detected physical property into an electrical signal. And finally, they communicate what they have changed the electrical signal into the robot's controller, which then processes the information, making decisions for the robot. Then we want to look at the types of sensors. We have so many different types of sensors, but we are going to consider a few. One, what we call proximity sensors. These are devices that robots use to detect the presence or absence of objects without physical contact. They include inductive sensors, which detect the presence of metal objects only, and capacitive sensors, which detect any type of material, plastic, rubber, water, etc., using electromagnetic waves. Then the second type of sensors are called ultrasonic sensors. These sensors measure the distance the robot is from the object by emitting what is called ultrasonic sound waves to and from the object, and then calculating the distance using the formula distance is equal to time times speed of sound divided by 2. Why dividing by 2? Because the distance is traveling to the object and from the object. Then the calculated value is converted into an electrical signal and sent to the robot's control system for interpretation so that a decision can be made. Then the third type is called the temperature sensor. These sensors detect and measure the amount of heat, converting that heat changes into an electrical signal, and the robot's control system can then use those electrical signals to make decisions. Temperature sensors like thermistors, thermocouples, etc. convert heat changes into a resistance, which can be changed into a voltage which the controller is able to understand and interpret. We also have what we call light sensors. Robotic light sensors detect and react to light intensity by converting it into electrical signals that the robot's control system can use to make decisions. They work by using light-sensitive materials which change their electrical properties like resistance and or voltage as the intensity of light changes, converting that into measurable electrical signals, which is then put to the controller to interpret and make decisions. We have what are called pressure sensors. Pressure sensors are devices that convert pressure exerted by a fluid on the surface into electrical signals and then use the robot's control system so that the robot control system can interpret. Then they work by using a sense element like a diaphragm which deforms under high pressure. This deformation is then converted into electrical signal which the control system of the robot can interpret and use to make decisions. So after sensors, we have also very important devices of a robotic system, which is called an actuator. Actuators are devices that receive the energy input and convert it into a motion or a force. Actuators act as the muscles of a robot, converting energy, such as electrical or pneumatics, into mechanical movements like walking or gripping objects. We also have different types of actuators. There are three main categories. One, the pneumatic actuators. Pneumatic actuators are devices that convert the energy of compressed air or a gas into mechanical motion, essentially acting as the muscles of the power robotic movements to power robotic movements. Pneumatic actuators use pressure created by the piston moving inside the cylinder to generate linear or rotary or semi-rotary movements. They are used in industrial robots, for example, gripping, painting, etc. Then the second type of actuators are called the hydraulic actuators. Hydraulic actuators are devices that convert fluid pressure energy into mechanical motion. A fluid is a substance that cannot be compressed. If you compress a fluid, the pressure exerted on that fluid is transferred to other parts of the, the system, creating a force causing the piston to move up and down or forward or backwards. As a result, the piston rod performs useful work that can be linear, semi-rotational, or rotary, or rotational, lifting up or moving down the loads. Then the last type of actuators are called electric actuators. Electric actuators are devices that convert the rotary motion of the into linear motion. They can be AD or DC, planetary, gearbox, and lead screw. When the DC motor is connected to a positive DC power supply, the motor rotates in the forward direction and drives the gear to rotate, causing the lead screw to drive the stroke rod to move forward. When the stroke moves forward to the uppermost position, it touches a limit screw which cuts off current of the motor, causing it to stop working. The stroke rod stops moving at the same time. When the DC motor is connected to the reverse DC power, exactly the opposite of what I've just said will occur. How do sensors and actuators work together? Sensors and actuators work together to create smart systems capable of responding to the environment. The sensor is located at the input port to gather input data such as light or pressure or temperature. When the controller receives sensor data, input data, it determines the appropriate action to take, the actuators should take. Sensors monitor the results of the actuator's action and sends information back to the controller, creating a closed loop and allowing this to happen in a real-time situation and making error connections. Quick questions. Define a sensor. Briefly explain how sensors work. Identify 4 types of robotic sensors and how each works. State one application of each of these sensors. What is an actuator? List 3 types of actuators and state the source of energy for each actuator. Thank you. See you in the next video.